Welcome to the stream, everybody. My name is Green Leader, and tonight we're getting back into some game development. It's been a couple weeks since I last did really anything. We got started on trying to recreate the squirrel platformer that I was working on from earlier in the year. And I've decided to recreate things back in Unity now that Unity's decided to take their heads out of their asses, which is great. So yeah, we really haven't done a ton. We got some basic movement set up for the squirrel. We kind of got an idea as to how the tile maps are supposed to work in Unity versus Unreal. And I think we set up some like very basic physics on the tile mapping. Well, when I say, I mean the colliders, right? The colliders, so the little guy can land on and walk around on, and that is it. We really didn't do much beyond that. I can't really think of what else like I've actually done besides just, you know, setting up what you guys see already right here. So we'll be moving on from there and trying to work towards tonight setting up a little bit more of an actual level itself, trying to fix the background and get that, make sure that that is parallaxing sort of like the way I would expect it to. And then I'm going to try and see if I can't I'm trying to think of the right way to describe this. Try and see if I can't start working on the animator a little bit to try and make sure that, you know, when he jumps, he actually has a little bit of jump animation, and then you've got the falling animation, and trying to see if we can't get a lot of that set up. And then I really don't know how far that'll take us throughout the night. I know we're probably not going to get too crazy far ahead, but we'll see what we can do. And I'm going to take it from there. So I am going to transition over to the actual game here, but it is going to show OBS for just a moment because I'm one PC set up here. So do that and then pop over to here, and voila. Okay. So now that we're over here, we're inside Unity. Here's what we got so far. We'll go out to the actual scene itself. We got basically just your straightforward parallax background here with a foreground, well, a forebackground, if you will, a middle background and a further back background. And that is sort of it for right this second. Oh, and also at some point I'm gonna have to try and mess with the camera as well. That's one thing I also need to figure out. But for right now, that's fine. So I think maybe what we'll do is we'll start by working on the backgrounds, and I think what we'll end up doing is we'll create some very basic objects for the background. So we'll create empty here. Call this for. Maybe we'll just do front background. That's a new one. Call it middle background, and another one, and we'll call it background. I know, very creative naming, I know, but you know what? It suffices. We don't need to be too crazy with it. So there's the trees. It's gonna, well, actually, hold on. Before I forget, I'm gonna make sure that these are set correctly. So we'll reset their transforms to 0, 0, 0. So we're not gonna have any nonsense going on there. And then we'll go ahead and drag the trees down into our front background. Mountains into our middle background. So there we go. And then our clouds into the background. So, okay. And then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to just duplicate these a bunch of times and then just offset them. And the only question right now is, well, I'm actually wondering now, maybe I need to actually like move them further back and up the size like what I did in Unreal. And I think doing that is going to make it seem a little less like, because this will be moving like it'll be moving pretty fast as we're moving along with the character along the level here. We don't want the background to be moving as fast as that. So I think we're going to need to try and step these things back just a smidge. Maybe, in fact, you know, I think this is what we'll do. We'll go 0 it out here. Oh my gosh. That's fine. Right, like that. And then instead of like zeroing out the actual individual objects themselves, we'll set this the Z and the scale based off of the parent object, because in that way we can create a bunch, and then if I decide to upsize it or downsize it and move it around the place, I can just do that from its parent object rather than from each of the individual ones. That is I think you could set up something similar with Unreal, but I don't really remember. I remember having issues with that and complaining a bit about that, where they didn't really have a functionality for that kind of setup. And so it caused some issues just from my own experience working with that and setting it up like that. So, okay, so what we're going to do, just to make things easier to read on the screen, we're going to go ahead and set these as deactivated for right now. We're just going to deal with the foreground. Remember what the unit ratio for this was. Let's go into the actual sprites themselves. Environment. Backgrounds. We have this guy. 10 pixels per unit. Okay. And that is not a great conversion, but it looks like width-wise it is 16 units. So that makes some sense. Okay. So that means these are going to be 16 units wide because it's 160 pixels. And we can just use that as our sort of factor here. So we'll go ahead and duplicate this a bunch of times. Okay, now that we have those set up, I don't know why I decided to do the numbering like that. Is there a... Come on, please. Brain is going to get very upset if I can't easily sort that. I mean, I can, but I don't want to... I'm going to have to manually sort that. My gosh. Oakley dokley then. Let's do it. And thankfully, sorting it manually like this isn't too bad because they're just off by like a factor of 1. They're sort of like, you know, kind of crisscrossed over each other, and so you just sort of like shift the ones that need to be in place, and then you do it for half the list, and all the rest of them are where they need to be. Okay, so we've got now 16 of these foregrounds, and now we just need to adjust them over. So 8 is going to have to be over by 8 units to the left, like that, and then 9 is going to have to be over 8 units to the right, like that. So that's going to be our sort of setup here. So this is -8, and then 16 from that is -24. All about the numbers. It's all about the numbers. If you can easily mess with numbers, it makes it so much quicker. So minus another 16 from that gets us to -40 for this one. 56 for this one. And it should be 72. If my math is right. Yep, I was right. Was right? Oh gosh, wait a minute. Hold on. That's the right number. There we go. And then after -72, 88. And 88 plus 16 And last but not least, 136. There we go. Now we're gonna have a 9. Well, okay, so the reason why I'm doing so much is I'd rather have more and not need it than have less and need it. You know what I mean? Always better to overproduce in this case than underproduce, and then we can clean things up as needed. Okay, so that is on the going left. Now going right, assuming, yeah, that actually worked. Going right. Okay, so we're doing the same thing, but now in the positive numbers. So again, this is gonna be 8. This is gonna be 24, 40. 6, 72. You'll notice all this matches because I try to make it uniform here. And then, so 72, which then takes us to 88. And oh shit, I actually did it wrong. I did it wrong. It shouldn't have been 8 and 9. It should have been 7 and 8 because that's actually because it's 0 based. My gosh. So really, these need to be shifted over by a little bit, but that's okay. We can easily fix that in just a moment. I'll show you. But anyway, from 88 plus 16 takes it to 102, and there we go. Okay, so now the problem is I am off by 1. That is okay. That is a relatively easy fix. You can do it like so. So we're going to select all of them here in the hierarchy. It's an easier way to select them all. We hold Control. That should force it to go along a... Oh my gosh. Buttons here. I don't like it. I pressed the wrong buttons. I don't know. I don't want what buttons I pressed. But they were not great. Ah, that would be why. I somehow duplicated the background a couple times, as well as the player character and the grid. That is rather interesting. We'll go ahead and delete all these extra ones. I don't know. I duplicated it again. Delete, not duplicate. Delete it. Let's try this again. Okay. I know why too. It's because I was trying to alt tab, or not alt tab, but hold Control while holding things down. So yeah. Okay, so we're almost there. Hey, Winnie the Pooh, how you doing? Hope you're having a wonderful evening. What are you up to? I need to move that over by 1. That went by 0.25. Okay, so I'm gonna have to move that over by 3 more. 2, 3, 4. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so that was sort of how I was wanting it. Any other adjustments we can do from the actual parent object itself. We'll set this back to where it was before, which I think was like 20. Just chilling, playing games. Nice, nice. You know how it be. What games are you playing? Just out of curiosity. I do not have the main cameras. What is... Oh. Right here. I want you destroyed. Go away. It's a second main camera coming from. That's BS. The finals. Nice. Back into it. Very cool. When you say back into it, did you leave for whatever reason? Just destroy this main camera too? No, I know there's no camera selected. Why is there a bizarre camera selected? There we go. I somehow docked a camera, deleted it, and now it's like, I don't have a camera. I'm like, I don't care. I moved, so I was off for like, I see. Yeah, that can do it. That can definitely do it. Sure must be nice to get back to it though. If you're like, particularly if you're like a big fan of it, yeah. It must be nice to get back to it. Okay, so now that we have this front foreground set up, let's go ahead and reactivate this guy. And just to give an idea as to where it'll end up being, at 20, we'll put this back to 30. Okay. I'm probably gonna have to shift it up, but for right now, we're not gonna worry about that. I'm just gonna create the objects themselves. Do the same thing, we'll duplicate. Get that, now I get 1, 2, 3. I have 8, and then uno mas, that brings it to 16 total. And it gets boring at the end of a season. Sure, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, that's like almost every, multiplayer game out there, right? Get towards the end of the season, you've already got your challenges done and whatnot, and, players drop off, and it just happens. Makes sense. Okay. So, now we have 16 of these mountains, and we'll do the same thing that we did before. And then starting with number 7, because I'm not going to make the same mistake as last time, but that's a -8. And number 8, we go to a +8, and there we go. We do the exact same thing as what we did before. This is -24, 40, 6, 2, 8, 102. Ooh. And 102. That's not right. Yeah. That's not right. That should be -104, not 102. And this one's gonna be -120. Very nice.
Hello there.
Hello there. How are you doing, Raw Dog? Hope you're having a wonderful evening. What you been up to, buddy? I would play Helldivers more, but progression is so hard, very grindy. It's kind of grindy, but I mean, it's a good grind. I do feel like there's some fairly good progression with every single mission and whatnot. So I don't mind the grind in that game. It's not too bad. I've played others that are way grindier. How's your night going, Raw Dog? I hope you're doing well. 24, again, doing the same thing. 40, 6, 72, 8, 104, and then finally 120. Okay, and now we have our parallax scrolling, and this is essentially what it'll kind of look like as you're traversing through the level. You'll see how the foreground's moving more than the middle ground, which will then move a little slower than the background. It's a very nice little effect. And I don't have anyone to play with. That can be that can also be an issue. Trust me, I understand. Pretty good. How about yours? That was a bit of a delay on the hello there. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I'm not as I don't see the redeems in the chat anymore. Hey, Toon Dicky, how's your night going, buddy? I hope you're having a good night. What you been up to, buddy? Dude, I feel like it's been a while. I hope you're having a good evening. Well, welcome back to the dev streams. We're back here. I'm recreating the little platformer that was in Unity now rather than Unreal. So I'm happy to be back in Unity. I'll tell you that much. Okay, now that we've got the middle ground, and again, we'll still need to do some adjustments, but for right now, that's fine. This one is going to be Go. Do the same thing here as well. Duplicate that. 4, 8, and then uno mas gets us 16. There we go. I'm well. Nice. GTSY. I'm sorry. I'm very horrible with internet vernacular sometimes. What the hell does that mean? It's one I've not heard of before. What is GTSY? Oh, Fubi, it's not over. We just started. How's your night going, Fubi? Hug the Fubi. Hold on. Hug the Fubi. Okay, so here we go. 3, 5, 6, and one more makes 7. Yeah. Do the same thing here. So this is going to be 8. Positive 8. Feels amazing, man. Yep. Okay, so negative 24. $40. 6. 72. 88. 4, and then finally 120 on this side. And then we go ahead and go for the other side. Same thing. Positive values. 40. Wait, what was the last one? 72, so it's 88. 4, and then finally 20. Okay, so as you can see here, you get that nice little parallax scrolling effect. And the only thing that I really need to add to this is I should actually add a like this blue here that's at the top of the background, so we can then add the sky a little higher. So if I do go particularly high with the squirrel and the platform and whatnot, at least then I've got some room to grow. Oh, good to see you. Thank you, Toon. I appreciate you explaining that, because I am sometimes an idiot when it comes to the acronyms and whatnot. I have all the stratagems, and that is fun progression part. Yeah, you already have all the stratagems. Oh wow, okay. I don't know what phi. What's phi? What does that mean? Yeah, particularly if you've got the stratagems already taken out, and you're not like getting any of the other the war bonds, any of the other war bonds set up. Yeah, I could see that being you know, you run out of stuff to do at that point, which makes sense. Then you got to really like care about the orders, you know, if you want to keep going with that. And then on top of that, you know, it's always nicer to play with friends, right? So yeah, so if you don't have friends to play that with, yeah, I can see that being an issue. Fire? I don't know. I don't know what Fubi means sometimes. He said fi, not fire. Okay, here's what we're going to do at this point. Let's go back to the grid and the tile map. Where is the... I already forgotten how to do this. Let's see. That's not what I was wanting. Grid. Material's fine. There should be hold on. Lining the actual map is building. Should be able to see that. Okay, I'm just going to go into the actual tile sets themselves. There we go. All the war bonds take so long to get. They do take time. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, they do. Sprite editor, but that's not actually what I'm looking for. Oh my gosh. It's not what I was actually expecting. It has been so long since I've actually... Maybe, okay. Not so long. It's just that I have rarely, if ever, used the tile set stuff on here, which is probably my biggest failing with working with Unity in the past. So this is my chance to relearn yet again. That's part of the reason why I'm doing this. They're all nice and sliced and whatnot. War bonds, Fubi, war bonds. Stuff that you get from completing missions in Helldivers. Did you see the Galaxy Burger game is on sale, 20% off? I did not see that it was on sale. So no, I'll have to go. I'll have to go check it out. Hey, how you doing, Dag? Hope you're having a wonderful evening. What you been up to, buddy? Yes, we are back to the squirrel game, but now this time in Unity. And the biggest problem right now is that I have decided to just let my brain lapse, and I can't actually remember. That's how I get the sprite. This is the sprite editor, but where do I get the brushes? It has been, again, far too long since I've actually done any. Well, again, far too long. Again, that's not exactly the right. There's nowhere. I did this a couple weeks ago, and I set that up, and it was very easy to place, and I'm just trying to remember how to get to the point where I can actually select the damn brushes. If I have to look up a video, I damn well will, but I don't really want to. I'm just trying to see if I can jog my memory here before I have to rely on going back to the video again. The tile map. There. Okay. My dumb brain. Should be a way to like pull up like a little window that allows me to like select a brush. It's not the animator. The animator, this is the animation grid here, and basically the state parameter that you can set up. It's the actual game itself, just to show you what the game's looking like right now. Granted, I don't have any animation set up. But I do have him able to jump, even if it's a teeny tiny itsy bitsy jump. That was the other thing I was wanting to do, is that right now he just seems kind of floaty. And I think that's how I remember ending it, was like, yeah, this seems kind of super floaty. I want to see if I can't get the setup in a little bit more responsive manner, you know. So I play that John. Yes. I assume you mean the game, which I appreciate. Okay. Let's see the Explorer. No. In fact, we've taken a step back. The game has not progressed in 6 months. We switched engines in the last 6 months. So right now I'm trying to recreate what I did in Unreal. That's the grid, that's the space. The windows somewhere. No. The tile palette. That's what I'm looking for. There we go. Okay. I could probably actually just place that in there with the inspector. So at least now I can have an idea as to what I actually want to do. Okay, and then the question becomes this. Whoa, 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 whoa. Something's not right with these. Oh, okay. They're just shown weird on the, Yeah, that's wonky. Much like the other thing that we had going, it seems to have issues with, like, you can't have overlapping things, which means you're gonna have to set up like a grid system here. And then the other thing is, can I set it up to where like specific tiles have renderers, or do I need to actually create a separate, oh gosh. Okay, can we close you now? Thank you. There. It is a calm game. I'm just curious to see if this is done what I think it's done. Yes, it has. So it's made, and unfortunately, I don't think there's Oh, interesting. So I don't exactly know what it's doing here. It's trying to like create polygons to match, but it's not exactly like pixel perfect, which makes sense. I mean, we don't want it like crazy, but we would want it a little closer. Let's see what the actual collider is set up here. Max tile change. Blah, blah, blah. Interesting. So I suppose this is the only problem here, is that I don't really see a good way to select specific things here and prepare for these different sprites. That would actually be kind of interesting. I don't know if that's an option here. There we go. I'm gonna lock it, flood the film. I'm at whomping time already. Yes. You are cleared for whomping. First, paint and erase tiles from a tile set, or from a tile map. Oh, that is interesting. That is actually very interesting. I didn't know that was a thing. Oh. Oh, I see. I see what's happening here. Paint a filled box with the active brush. So because it's only the one square, but then you can fill it up and then it tiles. Very cool. Okay. Publish that cool math games. Publish that to cool math games. What is cool math games? Hold on. What? Children yearn for the squirrel game. Yes. Brain training site for everyone. We're oh, that's cool. I'm not familiar with this. When did this come out? I don't think they have a like specific, like just a straightforward platform or something. I assume they're wanting more like edutainment games. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's necessarily what I'll be doing with this. So, yeah. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time from Raw Dog. Yeah, I've literally never heard of this. I didn't even know this was like, this is very cool. I didn't even know this was a thing, so that's cool. Is there an about us at all? When did this start? And it's cool, don't get me wrong. Okay. I really don't want the brush right this second, please. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try and adjust the background first, and then we're gonna try and deal with setting up. I'm gonna have to create a like specific objects in which this is going to be specifically for platforms that have physics assigned to them, specifically the colliders, and then we're going to have another tile map that's specifically for decorative things, like the actual, what the colors of the trees are going to look like. Now, there's all sorts of games on there. It's the only place the teachers don't block in school. Oh, interesting. I did not know that. Dude, when I was growing up, we didn't have computers with internet. In our schools, at least not until I was in high school, and even then, like, they did not have like any sort of sites like that. Like the only thing we had like gosh, I don't even remember what they were called. It was like there was Newgrounds, and they had a whole bunch of games on there. There was another one where like it was another sort of like online games. It was like JavaScript and FlashScript and whatnot. But like beyond that, I don't know of anything that was like specifically like, you know, edutainment focused, like cool math games. And even then, at that point, you know, high schooler, you know, if I'm gonna be playing games, I'm gonna be playing some real games, not, you know, stuff that was on there. I was, to be honest, you know, most of the time I was too busy trying to focus on like AP studies and whatnot. So, yeah. When Fubi grew up, Fubi am going to buy a internet. Do buy internet, so that's there's truth to that. Okay, so we're gonna call this, I'm gonna rename this object here. Tree platforms. And we're gonna create a new tile map here. We're gonna call this one. Got the renderer, nice. Ooh, now here's a question. How the hell do I guarantee that this is going to be... Whatever I put on here is not going to be painted onto the other one. I'm going to test that. So, we're going to call this one Tree Cosmetics. Let's see what we can do here. That's got the physics on it. Let's I don't remember how I'd set up that platformer. Let's go to the tile palette here. We had cell size is 0.5. What? 5. You can't do... Fascinating. I just don't like that it's showing like this. It actually makes it harder for me to really see what's what here. Okay. On that, we shall get this guy now. That one there. Okay. If I deactivate you, you are not showing up on the other one. Good. Okay. And this guy. What? Where is the physics on that? Weird. Okay, so that did work. Lame. I didn't learn shit in AP computer science. Well, that sucks for you, I suppose. I was playing Minesweeper all day. Well, there's your problem. All your class and I still can't block code. Well, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, yeah. Kind of on you there a little. Yes, I want to see what... Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. This is the... Decided to design this. It is super wonky. That's a little weird. Since when did your drawing layer get fucked up? What? Oh, there we go. It's fine. Weird. Sometimes I swear the Unity scene camera can be a little wonky. No regrets. Okay. Hey, as long as you don't have any regrets, right? That's all that matters, right? I wonder if there's a way. Yeah, that's fine. Is there a way to flip, is the question. Toggle visibility gizmo. Ah, shit, I put it on the wrong layer. It needs to go. Ha! It needs to go here. Say what now? There we go. There we go. And again, I wonder if I can flip this or not. Game object group, random line brush. Object, no. Group brush, no. Random brush, no. There should be a way. Very much should be a way. I would hate to have to like manually create these extra sprites to have it flipped. Swearing and bad, no swearing. You can swear. I'm also very good at Minesweeper now. There you go. Or else hairy palms. Hairy palms. Swearing for a long time. I don't have any hairy palms. Okay, let's go to the cosmetics. Whoa. Oh, wow. Okay, that is not what I was expecting. Hold on. Default brush, please. I don't just want to do this because that makes it look like there's a doorway you can go through, and you really can't. Well, I suppose I could. I could try and create a. That's an idea. That's an idea. I could actually use this and set that as like a little travel point. Ooh, okay. Ooh, I don't quite have that figured out yet, but I have the beginnings of an idea, and I'm kind of excited for it. Here we go. Okay, so that's supposed to be like right at the top of the tree. And I'm just gonna have to look up specifically like how I can, because if I can like flip it, like, because you could do that in Unreal when you're trying to do the painting, which makes for a nice little setup where you can, you know, put things. And maybe there's a rotate tool for the object. That's not exactly what I want. I'm just wanting a specific tile flipped. Very nice. Okay. Starting to look like the old game. Still got a ways to go, but we're getting there. Oh shit, no, we don't want that. We want that on the cosmetics side, please, and thank you. What? Yes. Why are you being weird now all of a sudden? There we go. I can't select. I can only select like one square at a time. That's interesting. Would have been nice to have been able to set up something like that where. Oh, that's interesting. Oh shit. Cosmetics, please. Thank you. Three, 1, 2, 3. There we go. And we can do one of these. And finally, here's the top of the tree-ish. You're hilarious. You're really hilarious. My goodness. Okay. So let's see if we can't do something about this. Is there like a way to flip the brush? Sure, there's a way to do it. Let me actually look up a video here quickly. That is kind of what I'm looking for. You can rotate the selected tile like clockwise by pressing. Oh. By pressing the brackets, you can rotate the selected tile. That's rotate it. You can flip the. Oh. Oh, that is interesting. And that's exactly what I'm looking for. Okay. test that. Let us test that, shall we? Back to Unity, shall we? And we go ahead and grab... Yeah. Oh, shit. You editing stuff. Don't zoom in. Fly in. There we go. We don't want this on the cosmetics. We want this on the platforms. That they're like that, but as you can see, that is not. So if I do Shift plus, sorry. Oh, okay. That's cool. That's cool. Which does that work for an entire? That's very cool. That is very, very cool. I knew there was a way to do it. I'm just like, I don't know how to. Thank you, Internet. You have made life so much better. And doing the same thing here. Oh, beautiful. Okay. So now that we've got that set up, now I need to try and figure out how we can get the camera moving in the same way. We can attach the main camera to the player object, right? And this would allow us to be able to force the player object, or force the camera to stick with the player object no matter what. That's really interesting. Let's let's go here, make sure that that's rotated correctly. Yep. That's rotated correctly. Yep. Then the question becomes, what is the sorting layer? So there's rendered order within the sorting layer. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna grab all of these. We're gonna add some sorting layers here. So for the sorting layer, we're gonna get this to the call this the character layer. We're gonna add this as the platform. Platform layer, background layer. We're gonna add a foreground layer as well. That should be fine. So basically what this is doing is this would allow us to be able to differentiate when sprites are essentially overlapping with each other. So when sprites are overlapping with each other, the game doesn't really know, or the engine doesn't really know where you want the sorting to be. If they're right on top of each other, do you really want it to be the player character or this or that or the other? And so you want to define sorting layers and things like that, which then should allow the renderer to be able to say, okay, it first needs to go, 1, 2, and 3, A, B, and C, whatever, or in this case, the character, the platforms, the background, etc. If I'm remembering that correctly, that should be how it's set up. Then we can then hop back into player class, set this to, where is the, it's on the actual individual sprite itself. There it is. And we'll set the sorting layer to character layer. And from here, the trees, we're going to set that to the platform layer. Cosmetics. What crying out loud? And this, I don't think this is actually necessary because they're not overlapping. But it would be nice to just set this just on principle. Say what now? That is not exactly what I was expecting. Let me just make sure I'm not like... Yep, okay. Rather interesting. Okay, fascinating. So this actually makes it not necessarily. So top of the list is actually furthest back. Bottom of the list is closest to the camera. That is interesting. Kind of makes sense. But yeah, fascinating. But like I said, it guarantees a certain order to things. And then if you want, you can then say, oh, well, if you got multiple things on the same layer, but you want certain things to stick out in front of the other, you can then, within the layer, in order in the layer, I believe the higher the value, the more priority it has. Could be 100% wrong on that. We'll see. Right now, I don't have anything here that I can test this against. But we can set up a little cosmetics game object here. Because I need to anyway, just simply for consistency between what I had in the Unreal game and what I have in this one. We've got ourselves some nice little props here. Whoops. Did I not bring in the props? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, see, they're here. They're not individual. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Not realize these were not individual. Like, I have them stored. I just forgot completely about them. Oh, well, we don't have to worry about that right this second, but that's, something to keep in mind for the future. Okay, back to something else that I was wanting to work. Just making sure that the camera is going to move with the character. The easiest method to do that is you can just attach the camera onto the player itself. This way, the camera will move in line with the player. Like so. Now when we move, it follows the player perfectly. So the player character is now just in the center of the screen no matter what. I suppose the biggest issue with this is not exactly how we want it to be. We wanted to have a little bit of wiggle room where it's not a 1-to-1 ratio in terms of you moving it. Instead, it'll be a word to say, like there'll be a reaction time between you moving and camera moving, right? Right now, by the way, you can see already the parallax scrolling is sort of there. Anyway, so as you can see right now, the main issue is just that this character moves. It's just like it's 1-to-1. I don't want that. I want it to be where he'll be able to move to a certain spot. And then the camera will see, okay, the character is moving from there. Now we need to follow the camera or follow the character. So that is not going to be the best option there for that. Set that back to 0. Nice. Interesting. And I could use this, right? I could use this set up this orthogonal setup, but the only problem is that by doing this, you actually break the parallaxing. You can set up differently. This is how you make money. Do you think so? What, by streaming it or by actually working on it? Yes, I would agree. Oh, is this how I make money? I see. I completely misread your chat. My apologies. No. I'm doing this on the side. I am a programmer. By day, I don't do game development stuff. I went to school for this. I went to school for computer science, and with that, I did an emphasis in game design and simulation programming. And so we did some of this in school, and I've done some of this after school as well, after college. But I never really got into it because I got into a job that was nice and stable and had nothing to do with games, but it provided me the stability that I needed such that I had the freedom to do what I wanted to. So, yeah. So I would like to get to a point, and this is the reason why I'm trying to get back into streaming this, is that I want to get back to a point where I'm thinking of actually, like, you know, really digging into indie development and trying to release some games and potentially trying to make some money that way. So not yet. Working on it. But, you know, it always takes time, you know. It takes time, it takes dedication, and many times it takes time beyond just, oh yeah, you're having fun with this. You know, you got to be willing to keep working on it even when it's no longer fun to work on, you know? Lots of testing, lots of research, things like that. So I'm streaming it also just to, not only just to force me to do it, but also to kind of show the process a little bit. Okay, let us see. What is that? I've done it like once before, but this was years ago, and I was working through some sort of tutorial thing. There is a way. But I remember there was a utility tool or a script that essentially you could define an outline on the camera, and then if the character were to pass that line, it would then follow the character. And I'm trying to... I don't know if I'm going to have to manually write a script for it, or if there's already something built into Unity. And this is the beauty, though, is that, you know, I mean, Unity in particular has a wealth of knowledge and tools and things that are available. All this, see, this is just like, oh yeah, here's how you make the script. I want to see if there's a... I remember watching a video on it years ago, and it's like, you can do this, and you can edit it, and I was testing it as well, and it seemed to work. Curious Tiki, how you doing? I hope you're having a wonderful night. Or should I call you Mr. Angry Cano Boy? By the way, you should check out the YouTube and just see if it's a little bit less of a latency. I did try to update that to where it's not as bad or shouldn't have as much latency. So let me know. Let me know if that's not the case, and I'll have to try and mess with it a little bit more. So. Yeah, shake the rust. Yeah, exactly. Let's see. See, this is one of my favorite channels to watch here. His name is called Code Monkey, and he does all sorts of Unity tutorial videos.
Hello and welcome, I'm your Code Monkey, and in this video we're going to use the camera system we created previously to move the camera when the mouse touches the edges of the screen. Let's get started. So we previously created our camera system and made it very easy to move and zoom around a position. So for this scene, let's set up our camera to follow a position that I will manually move with the keyboard. And
it's not test. Sorry. Keep in mind, I'm also okay. Hold on. Okay, test it now while I'm actually paying attention to it, so at least I can respond straight away as soon as I see it. 30-second chat lag. So, yeah. Again, keep in mind it also depends on like whether or not I'm paying attention. If I see it, I'll respond as soon as I can. About 3 to 4 second delay, but better than before. And see, I don't think you can get better than that on Twitch. I think Twitch is about the same thing, 3 to 4 second delay.
Ugh. Brother, ugh. What's that? What's that, brother?
In reference to... Are you talking about the 30-second chat delay? Yeah, that would be a bit of a... yeah. I believe it's better now. Brother, ew. Yeah, I know. It's this is one of the beauties. So if you guys are watching on Twitch, I have all sorts of video rewards on there for Twitch. So yeah. Yes, delays to you. Delays do beat you. This is true. 100% true.
then later add movement with the mouse. So let's go
I'm
into
assuming
my game
just
handler.
yeah, all he does is just camera follow.
To my camera follow script. So
oh,
in the previous video, we created a setup function. Inside that setup function, we send it a func that returns a vector3. So in this case, let's make a private vector3 to hold our camera follow position. And this is what we're going to send to our camera follow script. And for our zoom,
how do you feel about survival craft games? I think they're pretty fun.
Yeah, just a fixed zoom. We don't want to touch that.
I think they've got a lot of there's a bit of a variety in terms of like, you know, you're good versus you're bad, and there's lots of them out there, so you can really see what the different ones are. So like the ones that there's a few that I like. Satisfactory is probably one of my favorites, but that one's really more of like a chill. It's less survival. It's just more like crafting and automation. Ever play Valheim? Yes, I like Valheim. I like Valheim a lot. My problem is that I've never really gotten too deep into it. Because isn't there? Because there's like a Souls-like element to it, because there's like boss fights and things like that, right? Liar! You said you hate them. What? Hate what? When did I? No. You're talking about like horror survival? I played Minecraft as well. It depends. It depends on the game. Like if it's, I'm not a horror fan per se. I don't mind survival games, survival crafting games. You know, so like, and it also depends on, so like, I've also played a bit of DayZ. My biggest problem with DayZ is that it's a little bit too big, and I feel like there's not really enough there to like keep me going, unless I'm trying to deal with like PvP and like getting that involved as well. But like in terms of like the missions and things like that, I feel like there's lacking. Now I understand there's also like different servers with different settings and different mods and things like that. So I'm not really, but like I've just played like vanilla DayZ, and like it's not bad. It's a good start, but like I don't know. Yeah, but not really. I'd say Valheim is more about exploration and fighting and building. That makes sense. That makes sense. And that was the building was what I generally tend to focus on with those games. And Valheim's building was pretty fun. It was interesting. Built myself a nice little long house there. In fact, I did like a couple streams with it, and then I beat one of the bosses, and then, but I was just doing it sort of like a Sunday fun day type of thing, like not what I was normally streaming that day. But like one, I've got a few on my that I have, and then a few that are sort of on my wish list as well. But like Enshrouded, I want to check out because that looks like a sort of like a medieval sort of like DayZ. Like it's yeah, I don't know, because it looks similar to Valheim, but it's also like different enough where I'm like, okay. Sons of the Forest is another one, but like that's a little bit more horror, but like I don't feel like it's too much. I wouldn't mind checking it out. Valheim is the only game that makes building fun for me. Oh, interesting. Why is that, do you say? Like, why do you think that is the case? Just out of curiosity. Never played Forest, yeah. Me neither, but I've seen some streams of it, and particularly, and I think this is part of the issue, is that I kind of want more of a solo experience. It seems like a lot of these survival games also require like some sort of like team input, and a big part of the fun is that like, oh, you're playing against other people as well, so you have a bit of a PvP element. I've seen that in Sons of the Forest. I've seen that in like Ark Survival as well. Ark Survival is another one of these bizarre survival games, but now you've got like the training of dinosaurs and stuff like that in that game. Yeah. I feel like there's certainly a lot of room to grow. There's another one that Medieval Dynasty, which looks also kind of interesting because like you can build up your own castle, and sounds like you potentially set up like an entire like monarchical system where you're the landowner and you've got serfs that are sort of like working for you and things like that. But I don't really know if that's actually the case. I have to look that up. Having a ball on Icarus, and you can play solo or with a team. There's even bonuses to playing solo. Okay, you're gonna have to tell me about Icarus. Not the mythological character. Icarus game, please. My gosh, that's on me. That's on me. Oh, I have seen this recently. Okay. Sci-fi, obviously, because you got the pod here. Okay. Is it actually out or is it early access? That's the other thing, is that like a lot of these games are like early access, and so they generally, a lot of them have a very much like of an unfinished feel to them. Whereas I feel like there's not as many like fully released games, you know what I mean? The building is simple and not overwhelming with its options. It has a set style, and really gives you that at-home feeling when you finish your house. That's true. That's very true. I can certainly vouch for that. Unlike games like Minecraft, too many blocks to choose from. No thanks. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's been out for a bit. Yeah, that's cool. That is cool. Like, and like I said, like that also seems to be like my biggest complaints, that a lot of these are like unfinished. Like they're all in early access, and so like they're still doing tweaks and changes and all that stuff, which then, you know, you're buying into a half-finished game. Not that there's anything wrong with that, and it can help developers, you know, really flesh out the game and then get input from the players. But yeah, Rust is another one. Yep. I feel, which came out first? Was it Rust or DayZ? This one came out. First appeared May 2015. When was the actual? Well, okay, so May 2015, and then I know one of them came first, and I don't know, but I just don't know which one. 2012. Oh, that's right. DZ was the Arma 2 mod. That's right. So Rust, I think, came after. Rust came after DayZ. Wait, what? No, the game. The game. The language. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, so they were a year apart. That is interesting. Kind of time consuming. Oh, yeah. I mean, a lot of them are. And a lot of these survival.
Are you serious?
Dude.
Ugh. Where?
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 Where, Dwight?
Where, Dwight?
Seems like you already know where.
It's a great one. such a great one. Time consuming. Yeah, the early access plague is real. Absolutely. I mean, that is sort of like the danger with early access. You never quite know if they're actually going to finish off that game, or if it's just going to be there, you know, or you know. And sometimes they will. Like, for instance, I've been playing Satisfactory for years, which is another one of these survival crafting games. Focuses less on the survival, more on the crafting and the automation to get stuff. But it was an early access pretty much since 2018. It finally this year got a 1.0 release. However, I will say that at least they have given out some proper updates over the years, so it's not like it's just sitting untouched, you know, for years at a time. Instead, you actually get, oh yeah, at least once or twice a year, there's some sort of major update that fixes things and changes things. Shows that the developers are actually working on the game. I was gonna say Rust the game, not the program. Yeah. I love TK and Helldivers. Whoa, is that the shotgun? It's almost more fun than the actual objectives. Now I'm confused. Wait. TK, team killing? Oh no. You mean as an accidental team killing, right? Unless TK is referring to something else.
For now. So on our
anyway, I just wanted to see what this.
We want to test for keyboard input. So we're going to do if input.getKey of keycode.w. We're going to implement WASD movement. So if we press W, we're going to increase our camera follow position .y. We're going to increase it by a move amount and go.
Team killing is better in DRG. I didn't realize team killing was a thing in DRG. Like, I know you can do some damage, but I didn't realize that you could actually, like, I mean, I suppose it makes sense. I suppose the team killing in Deep Rock, it's sometimes not. Sure.
Here, float move amount, and let's say 20.
Nothing more satisfying than gifting your scout a block of C4 for Christmas, right? Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
Frame rate independent.
I always forget it because I
do the same thing for all the other keys.
I spent a lot of time playing the Driller when I was streaming it over the last week or so. But beyond that, I normally play as the.
You should now be able to control the camera using the keyboard.
But I normally play as the engineer, and so I don't think of that.
Press W and moves up. I can press S, moves down, D moves right, and A moves left. Okay.
That's basic.
Let's actually increase the speed, but you know, the controls are working. So we now have our camera following the vector 3 for our camera follow position, and we're modifying that vector 3 using
and Christmas is
input.
every day.
So let's also modify that when the mouse touches the edges of the screen. So on our update down here, we're going to do a test based on our input.mouse position and our screen.width. So in here, if input.mouse position.
So I see what he's doing. So he has, the guy doing this video, he has set up some utils where he can tell where the mouse is on the screen at any given time. And so he can verify if the mouse is towards the edge of the screen or not. That is useful. That is not exactly what I'm looking for, though. Basically, what he's doing is the more typical RTS top-down mouse movement functionality, which is fine. This is not exactly what I was wanting. Using Cinemachine. What is Cinemachine? Again, I just want like the built-in. I don't want to. If I have to make my own, I can make my own, right? That's not too crazy. I'm just curious if, because I'm sure that there's a built-in functionality for this. There's already a built-in like follow mechanic in Unity, and I'm just trying to remember what it is. Could you bugger off with that, please? So this is not in my face with the grid. Okay. Let's instead add a component, shall we? I want the video player. Why is there a pixel? Interesting. Platform effector 2D. Okay, that's interesting. Doing this for videos. I failed programming in high school. A lot of people have. I got an A in game design. Well, I mean, that is kind of the interesting thing about like game design. Game design has so many different aspects to it, and many times the designing aspect itself is not necessarily requiring of trying to think of the right way to say this. It doesn't require you to be being a good game designer does not require you to be a good programmer. You really need like good ideas in terms of how the functionality is supposed to work. You can then talk to a programmer about that, but it is certainly easier if you can program to be able to then go, yeah, I want to do this, and then you can program it out yourself without having to like have a middleman there of programming it. I wanted a game design, but they gave me AP coding instead. Did they even have game design? I mean, dude, when I was in high school, I don't even know if we had a programming AP class. Or no, we did. That's right. I remember. I was trying to decide what I wanted to do. And I thought maybe doing like AP programming, but then AP programming, the teacher that was doing it, I think he either retired or he quit. Like he went to a different high school to teach, and I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't available, and so I didn't even get a chance to do it. So I ended up just doing all math. I did AP math, and I think I did AP math and like AP history, environmental science, and biology. I didn't do well in the biology one, unfortunately. History one I did okay on. I'm trying to remember how well I did. I don't remember I did too well with that. Anyway, interesting. Just put the camera at target dot position plus whatever the distance is. Late update and put the script onto your. See, and that like, yeah, that makes sense. I was already thinking of doing that with the code. The issue is that that's not what I was damn well wanting to do. That's obnoxious. Because I swear I remember seeing something, and maybe it was on the Unity tutorials, for the because Unity has a whole bunch of tutorials. Yeah, this is why I like Unity. Want to hear a joke? Sure, tell me the joke. The roguelike. This is not what I was thinking of. This is like a 2D top-down thing, if I remember correctly. Oh, for crying out loud. And I think I remember how I found this, because I was actually doing one of the guided tutorials, and it was a side-scrolling platformer. Actually, a side-scrolling shooter, if I remember correctly. That's the only reason why my brain remembers that there was this built-in functionality. I would like to use it, but I just, for whatever reason, can't figure it out. I once played poker with tarot cards. Interesting. I got a full house, and 4 people died. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's dark, but yeah, it's pretty good. In fact, I wonder if they've actually removed it. This was years ago. AR. I agree with AR. Nice. That's interesting. Oh, I forgot they added a dot system. That's right. Interesting. They don't have it anymore. Oh, okay. Okay. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong section. Because it was an actual project itself, not a course. No. No, although the 2D stuff would be nice. No. No. How about that? Okay. That one's a bit rough. That one's a bit rough, Winnie the Pooh. That one's even... It's even darker. I'm not even sure on this. I will not necessarily say that, just in case it gets me in trouble. My gosh. Notion of the Sprite Atlas. Sprite Atlas organizes your sprites into a sheet. Optimize your game's performance in this tutorial. Okay. That's kind of interesting. I'm familiar with the Sprite Atlas before. I've set up a sprite sheet. Yeah, the sprite renderer lets you determine, and this is sort of what I was talking about with the sorting order and the sorting layers and things like that. It's a tutorial project. Projects. Although I might have to look into that one. Results. Models. Wait, we can build 3D models. Oh, that's cool. I like that. And there's been so much stuff that I haven't actually messed with. Start with Harrison. Ooh. My bad. No, you're fine. Made me laugh. I don't know if I'll necessarily say that, but it just made me laugh. I woke up this morning and folded my bed back into a couch. I broke both my arms because it's not that. Nice. Those beds are always uncomfortable, though. Anyone ever sleep on a futon? Those things are always a pain. It's interesting. These creator kits. I'm really not going to find it. Have they actually removed it? That is the real question. And maybe they don't even have that functionality anymore. But why? It was like decent functionality. It worked exactly how I would have thought. Essentially treated it as a yeah. I think I'm just gonna have to code it. I'm not finding the thing that I was looking at that told me about it. And then B, no guarantee. Okay. I'm just gonna have to code it. Let's do it. Okay. So in here, we're gonna go ahead and create a new script. Call this the or follow script. Yeah. I was mad tired though, so it didn't matter. Yeah. Interesting. Come on. There we go. That was longer than expected. Okay. Anyway, so in here, let's go ahead and I think it's control. Nope. Okay. What was it to format the code? It's been a while. I was right. It was, hold on. Control K, Control D. SAR. We won't really need the start. Let's create a what the hell's happening? It's slow tonight, Visual Studio. It's on the schedule for future streams. So the schedule for future streams are going to be, so tonight is going to be some game development. Tomorrow night we're going to be hopping into some DayZ, and then, or not DayZ, Dark Souls tomorrow night. Wednesday's going to be no stream. I am, well, got some family issues. My dad has some issues right now, and so we're making sure that I'm available if he needs help tomorrow. And then Thursday there might be a stream. I don't know if I'll be hopping back into Dark Souls or if I'll be hopping back into some game development. We'll see what happens. And I will try and make sure that I create the events beforehand, so they will at least be available on there, you know, at least a couple of hours, if not a day before. Family first, exactly. No, exactly. Okay, so this is going to store a reference to the player character. Then what we're going to do is we are going to, in either the late update or something like that, we'll do some sort of check. So I don't know if we'll necessarily need start method here. We make this a serialized field so that we can then use that within the Unity engine itself, the editor. Sorry. Wait. Family first. Am that what cannibals say? Maybe. I don't know. I lost both my grandpas in 1 week, like a month ago. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. That really sucks. Losing a grandparent is always painful. Sorry to hear that. But hey, at least you got to know have time with your grandparents. So there's that. No, that's what they say in Alabama. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yeah. Certainly a thing. But yeah, at least you got to spend time with your grandparents. So there's that. I think for me, like both of my grandmothers were, they had passed before I was. Well, that's not entirely true. The one passed before I was born. The other one passed like a year or two after I was born. So I don't remember either of them. I remember my grandparents a little bit, but we came to the States and they were not in the States. So I pretty much grew up without my grandparents. So at least you got to spend time with your grandparents. Didn't know them too well, so it wasn't that bad. Oh, okay. That is unfortunate. But, yeah. But like you say, you get the pros and cons of that, right? You didn't know them that well, but also when they're passing, it doesn't necessarily affect you as badly. Still sucks though. Okay, so in the late update, we are gonna do let's get the is there a way to that's an idea. That's an idea. Okay, so get so that's 0, 0. What's the they're set to. So in the meantime, hold on. Let me go back to here. Hold on. Save that. That'll then compile. Okay. Then on the camera, we can add the components of the follow. Go. Why are you so far down like that? Whatever. And then we're gonna grab the player character object like that, and we're gonna pop that in there. So at least now it's gonna have reference to the player character itself. And then I think what we can do here. If we ignore the Z, right? If we ignore the Z, we can do essentially a verification. Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so we're gonna do a verification on the X and the Y for the position versus the player character, and then if there's too much of like a difference there, we'll start moving the camera towards where the player is until we become within the range. So I think that's what we'll end up doing. So we'll do that. And then I think what we'll do is we'll say, we'll have to create another, no. We'll do this down here. Realized field. We'll do a private. Do a float. It's because everything's in terms of floats, in terms of the, whatever. And we'll call this, say, a range. Right? And set a default of like. But we can test this right now. Hey, Darth Phazon, how you doing, buddy? Do you know FW peanut butter and banana sandwiches? I have actually, funny enough, my grandfather used to make that for my dad. I've never actually had it myself. My dad, no. Did that, or did he have peanut butter and honey? I love peanut butter and honey. Peanut butter and honey is nice. I don't know if I ever actually had peanut butter and banana myself. I've heard of people talking about that, and I'm pretty sure my dad has had that, and he was like, I'm not a fan. Okay, so we'll set that range at 5 then. Have that saved, but that's okay. So we'll set that range at 5 to begin. Save that. Change this to... Change it from late update to a fixed update. Sorry, anyway, Faison, how you doing, buddy? I'm going to be showering here in a minute, but I'm here. Well, thank you for lurking. I appreciate that, man. Delicious. I'm going to have to try it. Now, I know this is going to sound a little crazy. There's another one that I've done. And this is kind of ridiculous. My uncle actually taught this to my dad back when they were school chums. Essentially, they would come home, and again, this is, you know, probably more of a poor kid growing up sort of snack. But they would come home and they'd make toast, and then they'd do peanut butter, and then put a little bit of ketchup on top of there. So you had the sweetness of the ketchup, and then you had like the tangy saltiness of the peanut butter. And I've had it, and it's actually it's so much better than it ever deserves to be. It's actually kind of insane. And particularly if you can. And since then, we've experimented as a family. We've done chunky. We found like the best is like you get a chunky peanut butter, so it's got some of the peanut chunks in there, and then you put on a little bit of ketchup on there. Surprisingly good. You would never think it's as good as it actually is. So it's worth trying. If you're a peanut butter fan, it's worth trying. But yeah, I have heard of like the peanut butter and banana. Peanut butter and honey is my favorite personally. Peanut butter and jam, like just the classic PB&J or jelly, you know, both are delicious. But yeah, you can always change that. Mess around with that, experiment with different options besides just the jam or jelly. Okay, so one thing I do want to set here is I want to get a getter and setter for the range so that we can potentially change that range on the fly. Is the ocean soup? Explain your answer. I'm going to say no. It's a bit of a bizarre question, but I get it. I'm going to say no. Simply because soup is generally cooked, right? So it's heated to a point where everything inside is cooked and ready to eat. You wouldn't want to eat ocean just straight out. It's not ready to go, you know? So I would annihilate it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Like I say, worth trying. Just stick a piece of bread, toast it, pull it out. Get preferably chunky peanut butter bread. You can do smooth if you want. Layer it on the toast, and then get some ketchup or catsup, whatever brand you decide to go for. Put that on top of there, and there you go. Set range. Could you stop trying to auto correct, please? And then we'll float. This is for obfuscating the code a little bit, so you don't have to. So that you can allow things to be able to set and get without get the entire, like it's a privacy thing in terms of allowing people access to different things. So you don't allow your raw data variables to be accessed by anything. You want to have instead things go through the setters and getters for whatever reason. Some sort of like privacy issue, but I don't remember exactly why we do it. Just what I've been taught to do ever since, you know. And then float. We need our getter. Get range. At range. Probably learn to type. Before you can code, you need to learn how to type. That is programming 101. Only if it was hot. Is that in reference to the ocean soup thing? Because yeah, I think that's part of it. You know, if ocean is soup, it would need to be cooked, right? It would need to boil, right? Make it such that you could actually eat, you know, consume it without like, you know, whatever. Oddball question, I know. I'm dozing off here. Think I'll head to bed. Hey, no worries, Angry Canoboy. I appreciate you hanging out, and thank you for testing out the YouTube chat and seeing if it's actually a much nicer lag than the 20 to 30 seconds that it was before. So I appreciate you testing that out for me, buddy. Okay, so we have our range set and gotten, whatnot. So here what we're going to do is we're going to test, and maybe I should actually speed it as well. So we'll do that as well. But I won't create a setter and get it for this because I don't think I'll necessarily want to and this will probably need to be set to whatever the player character speed is, but we'll set that to 5 for right now. Then we go ahead and say in here we'll need to get the player's position. So we'll go do this. Player.transform.position. Thank you for the auto. Like the autocomplete for once actually did something worthwhile. And then we'll go set that to 0. So now we'll only deal with, you know, just the X and Y, because that's all I care about right now. I mean, that's what I should do. No, that's fine. We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. And then we'll go camera position is equal to this.transform.position, and then we'll go. Let's just do. Then we'll go player. Yeah. Come on. Float distance is equal to player POS minus the camera POS, but then that's going to create a vector 3. We need a range, so we'll need to get the magnitude times the length. Exactly, that is exactly what we're wanting. And then we'll go if yep, exactly that. I don't know why, like this, to be honest, this autocomplete is actually kind of a little intrusive because it tries so hard to be like, oh yeah, is this what you're wanting? Is this what you're wanting right now? No, it's not what I'm wanting, damn it. Oh gosh. What's your favorite food? Oh, I'm sorry, I did not see that until right now. My favorite, oh gosh, that really does depend on the day, because like look at me, I love food. Clearly I love food. Hugs LaPoopy 2 times for missing the other hug. Hey Vapin', how's your night going, buddy? Hope you're doing well. Man, but my favorite food, that again, that ranges, because like my family, we make a delicious and amazing roast lamb, which growing up was probably one of my favorite meals, was the roast lamb that we used to do, and we largely do it for like major occasions. So like Christmas, Easter, birthdays, like that's generally when we'll have it. And oh man, roast lamb, delicious. And then we normally have that with some deep fried potatoes, not fries, but like actually like potatoes, and they're made as like chunks, and they're coated with some flour and some spices, and then we deep fry it, and then we pull it out, and then we serve it also with like a side of like pan fried butternut squash, and then like just make heaps of gravy from the drippings of the lamb. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I love spaghetti. Oh, dude, spaghetti's great. I love spaghetti too. Now the question is, what do you have with said spaghetti? Like, how do you prep your spaghetti? Like, do you just do like the tomato sauce, or do you do like a bolognese? Do you do like big ass meatballs? Like, what do you have with the spaghetti? Turn into a food stream pretty soon. Speaking of, like, rest of the chat, like, what's your guys' favorite food? Curious. No, I don't want to set that equal to the range. I want to set a Boolean. So here's where we're... Okay, I'm going to need... And this one, I don't really care about it because it does not need to be serialized. This is just a private bool. Should move. Set that equal to false. Then in here, if the distance is greater than the range, then we'll go ooh, that's an idea. Well, we'll just go with this for right now, and then I'll tweak with it later. I just want to get a very basic one set up. So we'll go should move is equal to true. Otherwise, oh, duh, what am I thinking? This is actually super easy because we can just go, if only I could type, should move is equal to that. There we go. And I put this in update because essentially the idea is update happens every frame, but every frame in update does not match the FPS of the game. So fixed update is going to happen on every like actual visual frame that you can see. So ground moose and garlic bread. Ooh. Moose. What's funny is that I saw mouse but read it as moose, but I figured that is actually what you meant, and then immediately, yeah. I've never had ground moose. How is ground moose? I'm sure that would be kind of gamey, wouldn't it? Never had moose. I've had deer. You know, I've had venison. I've had elk. Both are actually really good. I actually like the, I don't know what it is, but I do like actually like the gaminess that you get with like wild, you know, wild animals versus the domesticated animals that like beef. And don't get me wrong, I still love beef and pork and whatnot, but I do like the like bison. Bison's also really nice. Like granted, it's a very lean meat, but it's pretty good. I want to say I've had ostrich as well. Ostrich is pretty good too. But I don't think I've ever had moose. Better than beef. Wow, that is definitely saying something right there. Well, I'll have to see if I can get moose then. That's awesome. Okay. Okay. So in our fixed update, we're gonna check to see if we should move. Great. Then we're gonna go ahead and then essentially create a move function here where we're going to move the camera by the X and Y that we need to move it to. I need to do that within there. So, we'll get the player position again. Yeah. I think that's what we do. We just do this again. which I might actually just extrapolate that out to a specific thing there. And then we'll get the... we take the current camera. Vector 3. Move direction. No. There we go. We'll just do dir. Equal to the camera position minus the player position. And then what we'll need to do is normalize that. There we go. And then from there, we'll go ahead and say, this dot transform that position plus equals the move direction times the, I set up a speed, right? I did set up a speed times the move speed times time. Not the tooltip. Doesn't help that I like just fat finger different letters for no damn reason. Time dot delta time. Like that. That's bullshit. Okay. And I might extrapolate that out into like different helper functions, but for right now, I just want to test this. So we're going to save that. Go out here. Go to the main camera. How are we doing on that? Yeah, the range is 5. Move speed is 5. Does the player character have... okay, the speed is 10. So the main camera will set this to 10. There we go. And then let's see how well that works. Antelope is amazing. Ooh. Yes, Antelope is good. Oh, fuck. Okay. That was not correct. The math is wrong. Apparently I need to do a minus equals. So I think, actually, I don't need to do a minus equals. I just need to swap these. So we'll do that. Do that. Save that. Try that again. This is the importance of testing. This is why you make changes, you test, you go again. Aha! Look at that. Look at that. We got movement. Oh, that's actually working really well. It's great. It's fantastic. Awesome. Sweet. Gotta go. Hey, no worries. No worries. Winnie the Foo. Appreciate you hanging out. Have a wonderful night. And hopefully I'll see you around tomorrow. Some Dark Souls. Hey, we got camera movement. I'm actually very happy about that. I'm actually a little, because again, I remember there was a like an actual visual thing that you could set up with your camera that and granted, maybe it's a 2D thing. It might actually be a 2D thing where basically it created a border around what you could see on the camera. And then it treated it like a trigger where if the player collided with this box collider, it would trigger the movement and it would trigger the camera to go, okay, you need to now follow the player. So, and I liked it. I thought it was a cool idea. I just don't know if they actually have that in Unity anymore. And maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know. And to be fair, they've also added so many different things since I've last messed around with like a 2D project like this, a platformer project with Unity. But hey, at least we've made some decent progress tonight. actually figured out a couple things when it comes to that actually should be moved. But we figured out a couple things when it comes to the tile map, and we have set up, and we set up a nice little move controller for the camera, so at least now it'll move with the player character. So I'm pretty happy with some of the progress that we've made tonight. We set up the backgrounds, which I still need to try and okay, so let's actually just try and mess with this for a little bit. So this is what it looks like with the camera. Right now, it feels like the foreground, the trees, are a little too close, if that makes sense. So I do feel like these, well, all of these need to be moved back a little bit, and then we need to shift each of them up a little bit such that it looks kind of like this. Because right now, it looks like this. And granted, that's maybe just because of the position of the squirrel currently, but yeah, it would be nice if we could adjust that up. So let's just do that. And that's easy to do. So first of all, in the background. So the reason why I set this up like this to have them each in their own individual object, where now I can make them bigger, smaller, move them around, and I just have to move one thing rather than moving all of them individually. So to start, let's actually double this. So we'll put this out to 40. That out to 60. 80. That gets us some nice movement there. And let's test that on the camera and see how it looks. It's looking better. Bring this back into like 30. And we'll move it down by a little. Move down to like -5. Just again, just for testing here. Wow, that actually goes to good place. See how that looks. Too much, apparently. Too much. The thing. It feels like maybe I'm just trying to work with them at too small of a size right now. Okay. This is also the other thing, is that now we can at least size it up. So let's do 5 by 5. Really? For all of these. Better. So now I'm gonna have to move these back up a bit, and I'm gonna have to spread these out a little further. So the foreground, let's put this at like 50 there, and then we'll put this at say 75. Actually, let's put that at 100. Let's do 150 then, since we're doing angles. And let's bring that up a bit, shall we? Put that back up to 0. You up to 5. 10. And let's see how that looks. Really, really interesting. I'm gonna have to back these up quite a bit. Okay, which I'm fine with that. I actually have no problem with that, because like the bigger the difference, the bigger the distance between particularly the player and the background sprites, the better the parallax scrolling will work. So how about we put this out to say 150? 100 and Also, this would be kind of nice if we could set the background camera to be the same as this color. Yes, please. Thank you very much. So at least now the top now matches such that you can't actually see. That's perfect. Oh, that looks great. It's way better than what it used to be before. Okay. And now that that is that, I think we do need to lift. We need to lift these up a bit. Pull this up by like 10. Okay, let's try that again. 10. Yep, 15. Yep, okay, good. Brain was not lying to me. It's looking good. That is looking... Shit. We set up. You can set up the skybox, but I forget. I'll have to look that up. Oh, that might be what the skybox is, the target. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, you can set up oh, that's kind of cool. It's like the VR stuff. Which, that's as simple as just setting up 2 cameras. And then, like they say, you target one for left and right. That's cool. So I think maybe what we do, let's pull back the camera a little bit rather than changing the FOV. Pull the camera back to about 30 instead. That looks. Okay. Okay, it does feel like the foreground needs to go back down to 0. We'll put the middle ground to 10. trying to play with different points here. Okay, you know what? Here's what we're gonna do. Yeah, I don't know if this is just a matter of like maybe maybe that's part of the problem. Okay, so maybe I do need to change the FOV of the camera. Right now it's only on 25. Maybe we set that to say like 35. There we go. So that gives me a little bit more room. I'm gonna have to try and alter the range, but hopefully that shouldn't affect it too much. And then from there, I want to make sure that the parallax looks like in this case. See, that's okay. That's actually better. That's closer to what it was in the old game in Unreal. Okay. It's actually not the collider. There we go. There's the body. There's the gravity scale. Mass was 1. Force is 100. That's nice. That's actually kind of cool. Okay. Mess with that a little bit later. We're dealing with the phase platforms. So if we put this to say 2.5, and we'll try see what the jump is going to be like in this case. Okay, see, and okay, so there's okay. First of all, there's part of the problem. Let's go ahead on the main camera. We'll deactivate the follow script, and I just want to see. Here is where that is. We want it to go to about here on the player. 12. 12 right there. Okay. So the range needs to be updated to 12. Should actually activate it, shouldn't I? That's kind of working. Okay, I think here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and say we're gonna change this follow script a little bit right now. So what we were doing before, just to get it up and running, was like I said, we were just getting the player position and the camera position, and seeing if it should move, right? If we're outside of the distance, right? But the only issue with that is that it creates like a spherical limit range where if you leave that sphere in any way, we'll try and move the camera. But the problem is that, you know, you've got a lot of edge space now because it's a circle, where that character could be and not really require the camera to move. So instead of actually checking like just the distance or the distance to the player, I think what we should do is instead grab the X and Y individually and see if the X and Y needs to change, right? So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and say float X player dot transform dot X is equal to this. And now we'll have two different should move functions, well, booleans. We'll go should move X and should move Y. And then instead what we'll do is we'll just go player. In fact, I don't even need to store it. I can just do it like this. Player.x minus this.x, and if that's nothing, insert, thank you. You kidding me? Okay. We'll do should move Y. That. Change this to the Y position. And then we'll, I don't think we even need this at this point. We're just, it cleans up the code, makes it a whole lot nicer. Then here, if we'll do should move X or Y. And we'll go vector 3. Okay, so that zeroes it all out. Then we'll go if should move X. Go ahead and say move dir dot X is equal to 1. Oh shit. I need to tell the direction here. I think of how I can do this simply without having to like do anything crazy code-wise. Ugly code-wise. No, it's not anything necessarily crazy. Because again, I don't want to necessarily do it where I'm moving the player position. I want to make it such that, and maybe it's just all we do is we go. Maybe that's all I should do. Go float player X. Yeah, we're doing this again. Okay. And then we'll go. Okay, fine. We'll do this. Oh, for crying out loud. Why do you do that to me? That's what are you doing? That's greater than 0. Great. Else direction dot x is equal to -1. We'll do the same thing in the y, except obviously for all the y directions here. Now we don't need this anymore, but I will need to normalize the move direction, which we can do right here. So we can say plus equals the move direction dot normalized times the move speed times delta time, and then that gets the movement. Okay. Sweet. So this way we're now creating essentially a box around. I just had to do it via the code rather than via whatever built-in thing I was using years ago in the tutorial project. Hey, 2XP Games, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're having a wonderful evening. Morning. Hope you're enjoying that coffee. How you been, buddy? Okay, so we've saved that. We'll go ahead and test this again. See how well it works. See, now in this case, it's just moving in the X, which is exactly how I wanted to be. Sweet. Thing is, I don't how floaty this is. I'm gonna have to look this up. Because he's so floaty. Oh, and I forgot. I made him. He's Mr. Flappy Squirrel right now. I'm doing good, buddy. Enjoying my morning coffee. Nice. Oh, finally some deving. Yes. I decided to get back into some dev tonight. Well, like last week was all about testing out the restream and multiple streaming and whatnot. So it's been nice. It has been nice, to say the least. Get back up. Shit. I think I'm moving faster than what the Yep. Oh yeah. That may be a bit of a mistake. The squirrel Oh, that's great. Problem with Flappy Squirrel. Kind of hard to control the, if we can do it. Hold on. Get those jumps going. Those jumps going. Yes, we slowed them down. Slowed them down. Working. It's working. It's working. We'll come flying up across the screen right now. Yep, there he goes. So stupid. It's a feature, not a bug. It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. I need to find a way to check if grounded or something like that. Oh, that's just fantastic. See if we can try and slow him down enough so he's not just gonna like fly past the screen again. Okay. Here we go. He's now sitting about like 5,000 units. He's finally going down. I don't know where the camera is exactly. Let's see. At 3,000, we're gonna start. We're gonna slow him a bit. Actually don't know where the camera is right now. I know we're above where we were for... Okay, here we go. He should be appearing. Ah, there he is. There he is. Ha ha! We've got him on screen now. Ha hello, Flappy Squirrel. It's good to see you again, Flappy Squirrel. Why is the... Oh, that's why. Because it's a 16:9. It's not a 4:4. That makes sense. Okay, he should land on something solid here. I'm just gonna let him fall. See if he gets back to the tree. Goes negative. We know we've missed it. And the camera will take its time catching up. Oh man. Maybe that's something that I should do too, is that I can try and dynamically make the move speed of the camera faster or slower depending on like the actual distance. Does that make sense? So like I'm right now checking to see what the actual right now all I'm doing is I'm checking to see if the I'm just checking to see if the distance is... Hey! There's some nice clouds coming in. Nice. Actually makes for kind of a cool animation. I'm gonna have to create a separate Y range. Well, there we go. Okay. I'm gonna have to change that to X range and then create one for the Y range and then yeah, try and figure out what this needs to be in terms of 16:9 sort of aspect ratios, but I'm guessing, well, let's pull up one. What's a 16:9 for 12? So it's X over 12 is equal to 9 over 16. So we multiply, okay, so 9/16 times 12. That's it, which is 6.75. Okay. That's why I made them floats rather than that. So anyway, call this the X range. And the Y range. And then we'll put that, I'm just going to do that 12 and then 6.75. Thank you. Then I need to update you to go off the X range, update you to go off the Y range, and voila. And there we go. Oh, see, now that's an idea. That's an idea. What if I were to do two separate operations? One to move it in the X and one to move it in the Y rather than trying to do it just in go. And I could have two different two different speeds depending on like what's in the game. That is an option. But it's an idea that I'm gonna have to try and deal with another night because it's already midnight and I didn't quite exactly get what I wanted done tonight. We at least figured some things out, which is very nice. Let's just save this and just see if this is working how I would expect. Also, I need a hold on. Set X range. Get X range. X range. Copy this and paste it with the Y. Range, get Y range. Need to be capital because let's get things formatted correctly. Because I'm going to see you like that. Why are you throwing a hissy fit? Oh, because I'm an idiot. That's why. That needs to be an X. There we go. Haha. There we go. Want to look at what I made yesterday? Kind of happy with it. Ooh. Ooh. Yes, please. Yes, please. Uno momento, por favor. As I, if it is a link that you want to show, I'm going to give you the permit. Let me know when you're ready with the link. Don't post it yet. Just let me know when you're ready with the link, and then I will give you the permission to post it. But yes, I would love to look and see what you made yesterday. You're ready. There's the permit. Thank you. Ooh, hold on. See the bot for a second. The Twitch video, I want to see this. Of course, lovely.
You won't remember.
Advertising.
This is the last time you will see me at the top.
Shut up, John Cena. I don't care. I can't see you anyway, John Cena. There you go. A commercial, right? Is this what you were? Did you work on this commercial? I don't think so. Gosh. It actually would have been better if she... Oh, gosh. Okay. That ad, cute, with the mouse and the mouse, would have been even better if she's like, wait, time out. And then she gets her Ritz crackers and cheese, and then she comes back with her snack. She's like, okay, continue. That would have been funnier. Anyway, that's an amazing commercial. Good job. I know, right? Right? Oh my gosh. Dude, seriously? That's cool. Are you... Why the top down? Are you going to turn this into like an RTS, or is this just sort of like a spectator cam? That looks cool, dude. Holy crap, this looks awesome.
Okay, so this range.
Also, they don't, are they hitting? Oh, they are hitting each other, aren't they? Be better if the mouse wasn't Canley Valley level. Yeah, true. No, it's suspected. Okay, I see. But still, I just, dude, I look at this and like, this is cool. This is already cool. Playing around with behaviors. Yeah, they hit each other, but they do no damage. Oh, I see. But the animation looks good. Like it's firing. It looks like it's clearly hitting each other too. That's awesome, dude. That's very cool. Are you like creating a Sea of Thieves? Is that what's actually going on right now? If so, that's amazing. Sea of Thieves needs a competitor because like there's really Skull and Bones is not it. And yeah. By the way, you get participation XP no matter what. Very progressive game. Sure. I'm not sure what it'll end up as yet, dude. I mean, I'm interested to see where you're gonna go with that. It seems pretty cool. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. I suppose. Ooh. I did not even think of this. Okay. So I know the X and Y move speed. But that's an idea. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm getting excited here because I just thought of something. The transform, I believe the player has some sort of access to the velocity. And I'm trying to remember if it's on the transform or if it's on the watch my brain right now. I'm sorry. If it's on the, there we go. It's on the rigid body. I believe it's on the rigid body, but I'm not entirely sure. Interesting. I'm gonna have to look up a video also on how to get like the physics. Like he just feels so floaty. I don't want him as floaty. But when I increase the mass, he then just turns into like just dead weight. I don't want that. It'll be for, oh, cool. Custom pirate flag options? Yes. I'm absolutely here for that. Okay, so I need to get the rigid, okay. I think I don't know, I know what I'm doing. I swear I know what I'm doing. Here we go. So I'm gonna do this instead. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna go, this was transformed up position. So we're not gonna normalize it anymore. Good, sure. See what we're gonna do here, because it's already normalized. Let's do that times the move speed, which is the X position. Y. But then once we get into the Y direction, instead what we'll do is we will need to get the velocity of the player. So we'll do player dot get component, and I need the rigid body 2D. Thank you. Dot get velocity. Shit, is there not a velocity? There is a velocity. Hello. Very nice. Okay, and then we just want the Y velocity. Are you a vector? You're a vector 2. So go float. My brain is just right now. Sorry. Let's do. Not Y. Okay. Then we go. Move director. Oh, shit. I think that's the only way to really like guarantee that. There we go. And then instead of that, we'll use the vertical speed, delta time, blah, 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 blah. We'll save that. Back in there and test it. It's a good idea. Just need to make flags first, right? Can be filler for all the famous ones as well, right? Pop over on sidebar descriptions. Minimal scraping from the wiki. Yeah, I made a Pepe skull flag mimicking a famous. Oh, really? I just need to commit, get it printed for real now. It's on my wish list. Dude, that's cool. That is so cool. Hell yeah, man. It's amazing. Okay, let's just test the camera moving quickly. This will be the last thing I do before I go to bed. Yes. Yes. It's working. See, now, no matter how fast we go, no matter how far we fly. Shit. Something's not adding up here. Camera's still going up, and I don't like that. That's a no bueno. Oh, duh. Oh, duh. Okay. That's what that is. That's what that is. Okay. Okay. Because guess what happens when it goes negative? I set the move director, the move direction Y to -1. But the vertical speed is also a negative value. Because they're both negative, guess what happens? Negative times the negative equals positive, so the camera's going to keep going damn well up. My gosh, I'm an idiot. You need more pod racer energy. It's working! Dude, I did that earlier. I did that earlier. Or if that's a fail, someone... Yeah, someone... Luke, no! Right. Okay. Last thing I'm gonna do, I swear. How freaking development goes, man. I am going to instead do this. So let's do... At this point, I don't care anymore. I'm just gonna go move direction .y is equal to 1. That's what I want. I don't know what's going on. That's like, it's trying to do predictive stuff and I hate it. Just stop. I don't want that. I'm gonna have to turn off that because it's bothering me. So there we go. So now it's 1. Now if the movement's, if the vertical speed is negative, now it'll move down, up, whatever. In which case, I don't even need to do that. Really what I should be doing is 3, 0, 1. That's really what I should be doing in this specific situation. If you okay, and we get the vertical speed, and then we get that, and voila. Okay, save, try it again, and then after that, I'm going to go pass out. Okay. To the moon! Okay, it's working. It's working. Okay, now let's see what happened. Now, granted, yeah. Camera's finally catching to him. That's amazing. I wonder if I should put like a speed limiter onto the character. It's working. It's working. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. It's actually it's keeping up with the squirrel. It's a smidge slower, right? That I'm okay with that. I am perfectly fine with that. And I think at this point, what I'll really need to do is try and put some sort of speed limiter onto the rigid body. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can do that. Like, if there's already a functionality in the rigid body that can do that. I think so. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I'll have to look it up. I'm sure there's probably a way to do it without having to do it programmatically. But I mean, if worst comes to worst, I can just do it programmatically in the player movement script. So it's easy peasy. Now all we need to do is some gore for when it lands, right? Just a nice little blood splatter when it lands, right? Would be pretty great. Shit. Wait, whoa. Sir, why are you moving to the left? That was weird. Something like triggered it to have some sort of like velocity added to it. I really don't want that. So I may have to do something about that. We'll see. But anyway, that's actually going to be for me, guys. I appreciate you hanging out and sticking with me through this nonsense. I think we've made some decent progress for the night. We've set up the background a little nicer. We've built out a tree now, so at least I've got a tree. I'm gonna have to try and look up, not look up, but I'm gonna look at the tree that I created in Unreal and try and like reproduce that in whatchamacallit. So, but I think we're doing pretty good. Pyro mode splatter turns into a what? Turns into balloons and cotton candy. Okay, yeah. Maybe when you jumped when sliding out. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that was that was what triggered it. I think so. I think that is what happened. Copy, paste. Not really a thing between because I'm in Unity right now. I built the other one in Unreal. I don't think copy and paste is going to work. Would be nice, but I don't think it's going to work. I think I'm just going to have to take a screenshot of the tree and then reproduce it that way. So, yeah. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. I I really do appreciate it. Sorry about you guys having to see that. Mine was because you were searching for a word and never completed the thought. Yes. You're correct. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Anyway, I appreciate all of you guys being here and keeping me company while we were while I was struggle busting my way through this, trying to remember things, even though I'd worked on it like weeks prior. But you know, it is what it is, and we got there. We got there eventually, and we were at least able to set up the camera to follow the player. We set up the background. We built a little tree. We were kind of messing around with the physics a little bit. I'm gonna have to try and do some things anyway. Yeah. Take a picture with the phone and struggle to use it as your reference. Yeah. I think I'll probably just take a screenshot and then have that, like, pop that up and go back and forth between the two. I think that's probably what I'll do. But yeah, that's going to be it for me for the night, guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. Big thanks to everybody that has been here in the chat. On the Twitch side, we had Raw Dog, Toondaki, Boobiewalla, Deglamon, Curious Tiki, Darth Phazon, 2XP Games, Vaping It. Thank you guys all so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. And then, of course, on the YouTube side, we had Angry Kenobi and Winnie the Pooh. Thank you guys so much. And then, of course, a big thanks to all of the lurkers who are hanging out in the chat, both YouTube, Rumble, and Twitch. Thank you guys all so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. A little bit more of a chill night tonight. We will be away from that tomorrow night with some Dark Souls. And Wednesday, no stream. Yeah. Family health issues with my dad. So we'll see how well that goes. And then Thursday, I might be back. We'll see. Pay attention to the Discord. So if you guys aren't already following, please consider hitting that follow button. And if you guys would like to see, well, and of course, if you guys are watching on YouTube or Rumble, please consider hitting that like button as well on the video. If you guys aren't already following, please consider checking out the Discord. There we go. Please go check out the Discord. I'll always announce there whenever I go live, and there's usually a schedule for what I'll be streaming and when I was streaming it. Of course, if you guys want to keep track of the VODs, you can go check out the YouTube channel, which I'm now streaming to live, so those streams are now always going to be there on YouTube and on Rumble, so whichever you prefer to watch your VODs on, YouTube or Rumble are always there. And then, of course, I've created a Steam group if you guys want to keep track of if you guys want to keep up with the community, you can go check out Green Squadron Games on Steam. It's a little Steam group that I've made. And I've also got a little curator in there, so you can go check out some of the games that I have put out some reviews for. So, yes, Poopy, it is in fact over. So yeah, thank you guys all so much for being here. Really do appreciate it. And I am going to go ahead and just end the stream there. I would normally try and raid out, but you know what? I'm right now exhausted, and I need to essentially just go pass out. So have a wonderful night. Excuse me. Have a wonderful night, and I'll hopefully catch you guys tomorrow for some Dark Souls. But until then, this is Green Leader signing out.